what we got today, man, is we got one of our guys all the way from Atlanta, Georgia, joining us. One of the things we talk about all the time is, you know, we have platforms. There's things that we've been through. There's trials and tribulations, and we got stories, and it's all in our minds. We want to do something with it. You know what I mean? All these experiences that we've been through, there's power in sharing that with someone else, right? So they can learn from the mistakes maybe that we've made, or learn from the successes that we've had. We got to figure out how to package those up, right? So that we can be able to share those. And oftentimes we as people, we want to do that, we just don't know how. You know what I mean? We don't know how. And so I'm a firm believer that everyone should get in the process of documenting their story. And we got one of the best to do it today, man. You know what I mean? Coming with us all the way from Atlanta, Georgia, from Oakland, right, California. And, you know, has been through some trials and tribulations himself, right? But have withstand that, and most importantly, have figured out a way to use his stories and take his stories and empower other people. You know what I mean? So an author 10 times over is with us today, man, to teach us how to take everything that's in this mind of ours, take it from the brain to the bookshelf.
Yes, sir.
You know what I mean? How to monetize it, right? So that's what we're gonna get into, man. My guy, C.W. Burnett, also known as Cal.
Yes,
Talk
sir.
to him, baby. What we got?
Yes, sir, man. Appreciate y'all, man. Blessed to be in the building. You know what I'm saying? To share this knowledge with y'all. I'm gonna tell y'all a little bit about myself. I write under C.W. Burnett. My name is Calvin Burnett. I'm from Oakland, California. I'm no different from y'all. I'm actually more like y'all than what y'all know. You know what I'm saying? I've been in and out incarcerated from a juvenile all the way into an adult. You know what I mean? From 15 to 25, it wasn't a year that I didn't at least do a violation or have something happen. We all know how that revolving door is. The biggest obstacle I faced is when I come home, what am I gonna do? How can I change my reality? And my circumstances always led me back to the situations that got me into the situation I was in before. But I'm a writer, I'm an author, I'm a publisher, and I used a skill set of mine to produce a stream of income. And that's what I'm gonna come and teach y'all how to do today. A lot of us have so many stories and so much knowledge to share. Like, I'm sure somebody in this room who has written with the intention of putting it out, but when it's time to get it out, we become discouraged because we think it's so many different steps that we can't afford to take. We don't have the resources to take. And now all your good knowledge sit on the shelf and nobody gets it. You take it to the grave with you. You could have actually packaged it, made money off of it, and had a stream of income that wouldn't put you back in the situation that you're trying to overcome. So that's what we're gonna do today.
Yeah, let's get it, man. So obviously, you know, we have a live audience, all right, which is super dope. We also have our viewers that are chiming in on our YouTube live, all right, and then obviously we have some folks that may tap in as we continue to build. This is, you know, first of many. As we talk about this, we want to share with you how to and the guide to going out and doing it and putting it into action. And then of course we'll have some follow up behind that, man. So we're gonna dive right into it. Obviously, you know, we got a couple assets here. I'm also an author. Waiting to Fail book was published about 10 years ago. So, you know, we get a chance to interact and sit on this stage as authors. We know what it's like to have been in those seats, have been in those labs, been in that mind space of writing, and take something from our mind and take it all the way to, you know, a finished product, man. And that's what we're gonna do today. So you guys get a chance to ask questions. You know, if you're joining us live, make sure you throw those in. We'll get an opportunity to answer those as we go along. But man, we're gonna dive into it, man, because Cal come with our brain to bookshelf guide, and so we're gonna jump into it, man. Let's get it.
Yes, sir. So these are a couple of my projects. This one right here is called Deshaun's Road to Redemption. It's the story of a man. He's incarcerated and he's court ordered by a judge to see a therapist to trace the origins of his childhood trauma. And throughout his court process, he's seeing this therapist with the intention of getting a lighter sentence. But the whole time, though, he's unraveling layers of his past that's helping him understand why he keeps getting into these situations so he can know what to do moving forward. And so before y'all leave, I'm sending everybody with a signed copy of that. You know what I'm saying? And not only is it, you know, good literature that I'm sure can resonate with everyone, but also it's a good reference, right? You guys will always also be getting From the Brain to the Bookshelf, which is going to show you how to take your thoughts, get them to the shelf into a finished product. And so this can be your reference if you need to open it up and see how I worded some, how I framed some, you'll have that example. And so first we're gonna talk about What happens before the ink touches the pad? Before you even start writing, right? Like I said, the idea could become overwhelming. So you want to make sure that you're establishing as comfortable as a space as you can. That doesn't necessarily have to be a location. Me, for example, my thing was I had to be secluded with old school R&B playing and eating fruit. That was my best writing space. Now, of course, we can't always get into that.
What type of fruit, bro?
Man, I'm telling you, look, pineapples, watermelon, cantaloupe. Yeah, them three right there. You know what I'm saying? A big old bowl of it. Got my water, I got my vibe playing, and I'm just writing.
You know what's crazy? So listen, my space was, and I still, to this day, when I want to lock in, I listen to Solange.
Okay.
I don't know, like, I wouldn't normally listen to her regularly,
right.
You know what I'm saying? But in my writing space or just creativity space, man, I'm throwing Solange on. I can't remember the album right now, but I'm throwing her on from like 2015, whatever that album was at that time.
Yeah.
And I'm rocking out, bro. Like, I don't hear no words or nothing. I just hear the tones and it get me going. So,
right,
yeah,
you in the zone, man. That's similar for me, man. I go a little further. I go Teddy P,
Easy.
Earth, Wind and Fire, you know what I'm saying? Isley Brothers. I go to the stuff my mama used to play when I was young. It take me back to that youthful, innocent space, and now I'm locked in and I'm ready to go. You know what I'm saying? So establishing your space is very, very important. You know what I'm saying? You want to be consistent with it. Some people gotta write around the same time of the day. You know, it might be in the morning after you bust down workout, might be before you work out, before you get your day started. You know what I mean? You want to write something and your creative juices flow better that way. You know, don't be afraid of writer's block. We're gonna get into that too. You know what I'm saying? Some practices I use to overcome writer's block, because it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. When your creative juice is gonna stop flowing, and you need to kind of break that barrier a little bit. You know what I'm saying? So establishing your writing space, whatever makes you comfortable, is very important. You know what I'm saying? And with anything, you know, you want to be properly prepared. You know what I'm saying? You want to be proactive, not reactive. And so if you're going to use a pen and a pad, you want to make sure you got your pens, multiple ones. You want to make sure you got enough paper. What happened, man? You flowing and then that pen go dry. Now you searching for another pen, you searching for a pencil, and now that took you out of you being locked in. That might cost you 2-3 days of writing. And so you want to be consistent and you want to be prepared. You want to have your material, everything in front of you so you can rock and roll. Those are very, very important things.
So before you do anything, listen, at least prepare yourself. Proper preparation prevents poor performance.
Yes, sir.
You know what I mean? So if we want to get in our headspace and say, look, I want to write something, hey, just lay it out. You might have it sit there for like 3-4 days. Maybe it sit there for a week, 2 weeks.
That's real.
But when it allow those creative juices to start flowing. Maybe you just got to let it sit there and say, man, you know what? I'm going to just set the table. I'm going to set the stage, and then I'm going to come back to it when I'm ready. Because there's going to be times, like you talked about that writer's block, there's going to be times where you want to, and it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But if you have the space, as he's saying, is you have the environment that allows, oh, I got it. You know what I mean? Because sometimes those things come in the middle of the night.
Absolutely.
They come early morning. They come at the whim. You got to be able to go and get in that zone real quick and jot that info down.
Yeah, it's a saying, man. You know, success loves speed. You feel what I'm saying? So when you got your idea, you don't want to have to wait. Like you said, man, you got to leave a pad by your bed. You know, one underneath the bed, one in the bathroom. Some of my best thoughts came on the toilet, to keep it real. You know what I'm saying? Sitting down, bam, 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 bam. You know what I mean? And it don't gotta make sense. We're gonna jump into that too. You know, at some point in regards to, you know, chronological order ain't necessary. You know what I'm saying? You might write the middle of what you're writing right now in the beginning later on. So don't think you gotta have your story automatically lined up in a way so it can be perfect. You know what I'm saying? That's what I don't want you to do. But yeah, I done had writer's block, bro, for weeks.
Yeah.
For weeks. You know what I'm saying? And so that is very easy to do. You know what I'm saying? Very easy to do, but I can't preach preparation enough. Preparation, I tell my kids this all the time, if you prepare, you don't need to be scared. And that's with anything in life. You know you want to write, so you should know what you need to begin writing.
Dope. What would you say, and I know we're gonna jump into it, but For somebody that's thinking about what to even write, like, how do you even go there? Like, you know what? I want to write about my life. I want to write a fiction, a novel. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, how do you even like begin to think? There's so many thoughts in our head. Like, what do I even focus on?
All it takes is one thought. You just answered it yourself. Like, you might wake up and say, I want to tell the world about myself. You might know how to cook good. You might be like, look, I want to share this with somebody. I want people to know how to cook. You know, especially as men, right? As men, typically we lean on other people to cook for us. Like, that ain't really our go-to naturally, right? But to survive on your own, you gotta eat. So why not eat good, right? And so if you have that ability and that skill, you can literally package that and sell it to other men or people interested who had that same feeling. So to answer your question, when you thinking about something to write, you thinking about something that can resonate with the masses. You're trying to reach as many people as you can with your idea. And if you're passionate about that, it's gonna play into your creativity and it's gonna translate to the work.
One of the things that you kind of mentioned that I always like to address, because you know I wrote this right here, you know what I mean? You got this big book right here, so a lot of people think when you writing a book, it's got to be 150, 200 pages, it's got to be so many words, it's got to be this thick. And I promise you, people ask me all the time, yo, when am I writing another book? First of all, I'm like, hey, you better go reread the first one.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
For real.
You know what I mean?
For real.
Because I don't know. And I've done it. I've written other, pieces, but I haven't done it in this form.
Yeah.
Right. And so for me, 10 years ago, this was the form that I thought was, you know what I mean? You had to have it in this form, and you don't. One of the things that you kind of alluded to is, listen, when I get a thought, I can literally turn that thought into an art form. I can turn it into a medium. I just need to share it. Listen, this right here, this is a book.
Right.
This is a guide. It's not like this, but it's information that's going to help somebody else do something.
Right.
Right? And that's what people want to know, they want to learn, and they're going to pay you for it.
Right.
So what I tell people all the time is, you don't have to write a novel, you don't have to write a 300-page book. Listen, write a 10-step guide. You know what I mean? If it's about cooking, let me show you 10 steps as a man, how to prepare 10 great dishes.
Right.
That should be 10 pages.
Absolutely.
Get a cover page, now you got a book that you can sell $10, $20.
That's a published piece of work.
Think about it. Hey, what's your favorite meals while y'all locked up?
Spreads.
Huh?
I'm busting spread down every chance I get.
What's the 10, look, I'm gonna write a book, the 10 meals in the joint.
I got an uncle that eats spreads on the street right now.
You know what I mean?
On the street right now, uncle don't want nothing but bust down every night.
How many people you think be interested in? I'm gonna write the 10 best meals in the joint.
See, and I even wrote it in this, man. The story's done when the story's done. There's no page count. Story's done when the story's done. When you're done telling your story, when you can no longer elaborate on it, it's done. 800 pages, 80 pages, it's done what it's done. That's it. Don't get caught up on page count, because you'll water down your product trying to stretch it. That's with anything in life, right? You stretch yourself too thin, you lose value. You know what I'm saying? So the story's done when the story's done. That's it, that's all. Whether it's a fictional story like this one with real undertone, or whether it's a skill set, you teach somebody how to cook, man, when the steps is done, it's done. It don't have to look a certain way.
Hey, I just found my next book, bro. I'm excited. I don't know. Whoever want to partner with me, we going 50-50. We going to author the 10 best meals in the joint. I guarantee that boy going to sell.
Or just like man, you could put together a workout, or you could put together a workout book. If you got a workout routine, you look like you in pretty decent shape, man. If you got a regimen, bro, there's somebody on the street who can relate to that. You know what I'm saying? It's somebody who can't afford a $30 a month membership. He needs to know what calisthenics he can do to maintain and to build muscle and get his frame right. That's a book. But what you do is you personalize it. When you personalize your message, you resonate to other people. There's somebody thinking what you're thinking right now at some point in their life. It's somebody who want to know, like, damn, like I'm sitting around the house. It's stuff you can do in your living room, man, when you could literally come out, you could be swole, you could be in good shape. You don't need to go to run the treadmill all day. You can go do some burpees for, just some intense hit cardio and be done with it. So when you personalize it, you use your charisma, your wittiness, you know what I'm saying, and you put it together, bro, that's a product. You know what I'm saying? That's a product.
Let's go.